Hello, I'm Fausto Botelho, broadcasting from Valencia, Spain. Usually I broadcast from São Paulo, Brazil, as I'm Brazilian, and I do my videos in Portuguese. Used to do some videos in English, but then I started to do only in Portuguese. But this one I want to do in English again. Let's see if I will return doing videos in English, because actually a lot of people ask me about the last video of Alessio Rastani, which I'm going to consider, and I'm going to present my view here, which is different from his, but with all due respect to Alessio, which is my colleague, which I respect, and actually I follow his channel. So Alessio, if you're listening to this, my considerations on your counting are, well, the first video you made, you didn't have these data, right? Then you found this data and added to your chart, and then you correctly thought that this was wave one. Well, I want to tell you that for a long time, I actually thought that this was wave one. But then, exactly because I had to deal with the situation that after 2017, and I show you here in the chart, after 2017, we didn't have the correction that a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, yeah, now I have a different counting. That's my wave one. But at that, for many time, I thought that was wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if that was true, we would need a bigger correction that we had. So I was, thinking, and then I think I found the solution for this problem. Actually, I just disconsidered. I started not to consider this first wave, and the reason is that this first wave of Bitcoin starts with Bitcoin worthing 6 cents of a dollar in 2010. And whenever we think of cycles, we can't consider or else. We never, as didn't Ralph Nelson Elliott in his studies in 1932, we never considered a asset that was worth 0.6 cents of a dollar. All stocks had his IPOs already, or the commodities were already born and worth something, like if you talk about lumber as the contract was presented, or pork bellies, or coffee, or soybeans, or copper, gold, silver. All these assets had a price. They had been born already before someone started to analyze them in terms of cycles. So the first wave was the birth of Bitcoin. And actually, if we go back to the chart, we're going to see Bitcoin moving from let me just put down my phone here. Sorry about that. Let me see what I'm showing here. Yeah, here you go. We're gonna see it going from 6 cents to 34 cents, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 36 cents. And then coming back to almost $2 or $2.29, and then going up again to 7, and then stabilizing in $5. It stayed for a couple of months here in $5. So at $5, I think we could consider Bitcoin to be, already a commodity, a currency, whatever. I think it should be considered as a commodity. So from 5 on, I think it's fair for us to start thinking of cycles in Bitcoin, but not before that. So even though this first cycle, as I said, resembles as a impulsive wave in terms of Elliott Bitcoin and Elliott wave counting, and especially for considering the fractal part of the Elliott wave count, I think we should start from here. And if we start from here, look, we're going to have a first wave from 5 to 1,000, a little over 1,000, which means an upward movement of 23,000%. Then we had the first ABC, the first corrective wave. And then we start this impulsive wave that everybody agrees it's an impulsive wave, right? Which I think it's wave 3. Well, then Alessio puts that we had a correction from barely 20,000 to these levels here of, and let me zoom these up here to show you that he puts the correction from almost 20,000 to the 3,000 level, almost 3,000 level, right? But about that, I want to consider the alternance rule of the Elliott wave count. And the alternance, they say that the corrective waves alternate in between a normal ABC, a normal correction, a zigzag, as Ralph Nelson Elliott used to call it, and a more complex wave. And I think we're having exactly that. And if we consider that the next impulsive wave after 2017 begins at a different point that Alessio Rastani considered in his last video. So look at that. If we consider this as a normal zigzag, normal correction, an ABC, then we should imagine that for the alternate rule, the next corrective wave would be more complex. And here we have these more complex wave, you see? I think we can easily call this already, I think technical analysts can easily call this a symmetrical triangle. In my opinion, the next impulsive wave starts whenever this accumulation pattern, these continuation patterns is broken. So if we go back to the chart here, we're gonna see that Bitcoin breaks the symmetrical triangle in the middle of 2020, more specifically in July 2020, and then it pulls back, which I think it's very meaningful. It breaks the resistance line that was touched 3 times, 4 if we consider these two, because I think this is technically a point in the resistance line. And then it pulls back and touches for the last time the resistance line. And after this pullback, then I think we can consider that wave 5 would be starting. And if this is wave 5, this is not an impulsive wave. This upward movement here was within the triangle. So I think it's fair enough for us to consider that wave 1 of wave 5 has happened, and it was a wave of 548% of increase, right? If we compare these to these first wave here. When we got a first wave here, it could be this. Oh no, it's here, right? Let's see this wave here after $5. It goes from 5 to 16, and it's 220% upward movement. This other impulsive wave here, 1,388%. So I think it's very nice for us to consider this as being an impulsive wave, 529 approximately percent. And having said that, I think we're heading to wave 3 of wave 5. So we have a lot of leeway to go yet. Another consideration is this upward channel that we've been able to draw from 2013 on. We have already 1, 2, 3 bottoms touching the support, and we have two tops touching what I call the supporting line for this channel, right? So the guideline for this channel, which I put it like that. So if we just think that the market could reach the upward part of the channel again, we're easily talking about 200 or maybe. And for that, in terms of timing of what I think might happen, if we just pick the inclination of the last upward movement, we would be reaching, actually we would have to think of reaching the channel, right, for the third time. That would happen on March 2022. It's we can look at it. March is right there, right? So I think we do have a lot of space. Bitcoin has a lot of space to go up, and this is it. As I'm talking to Bitcoin, so Alessio, if you're looking at this video, please send this video to Alessio if someone knows him. I would love to debate that with you. Place my terms in your channel, or if you want to come to mine, it will be a pleasure too. But as I am talking about Bitcoin, I wanted to show you my views on Ethereum, which I think it's maybe that could eventually outperform Bitcoin. So quickly, let's take a look in Ethereum, which we actually recommended in our product FB calls and calls BTC. Here it is. No, I don't have that call yet. So I'm going to pick it from here, and here it's Ethereum. And I just wanted to show you in the daily chart that after having escaped from what I think is a huge accumulation bottom, we could easily think of that as a big head and shoulders formation. Left shoulders, head, right shoulders. Afterwards, here in this weekly chart, I can easily see this as a continuation pattern. So I think, I must tell you that I'm showing you a chart of Ethereum denominated in Bitcoin, quoted in Bitcoin. The people like me that thinks Bitcoin is going to be the new standard, monetary standard, all we want is to increase the portfolio of Satoshis, the number of Satoshis or Bitcoins that we have, right? So I always think of I always look charts denominated in Bitcoin, because these are the assets which whenever go up, I increase the number of Bitcoins or Satoshis that I have, right? So going back to the chart here, let me show you on the daily chart that I'm showing the hourly chart. I want to show you the daily chart first of all. And in the daily chart, we can easily see, I'm going to show you in the hourly chart too, that the market broke this resistance line, this short-term resistance line. And I think it's fair enough for us to think that the market just did a pullback, especially because it's it's probably closing, as it looks like now, we're still yeah, well, I'm a little confused because I'm in Europe, but we're still 8 hours from the close yet. But anyway, it's looking like it's heading up, even though, because when we see the hourly chart, we can see that resistance line here, and we can see the pullback in here too, right? So I think it's a good bet to add Ethereum in your portfolio. So this is it for now. See you next time. Hope you liked the video. If you liked, subscribe to the channel. Be doing some videos in English whenever there's something important here in the channel. And see you next time. Ciao.